All right, fellas, is chivalry dead? Because I know all of us have had conversations where we've seen guys do things like not pump their woman's gas, not open doors for them, and I think that that's typical gentleman things to do. And then we also see like I don't think that you have to go to the extent of like a man has to drive all the time, but don't be sitting there like a passenger princess. So, what do you feel about chivalry, Jason? Is it dying? Is it already dead?
So I think there are a couple of different things now. Should you open the door for a lady? I think that's something you should do. Um, Driving all the time, I don't really see that as like a chivalrous act. Like if it's her car, you know what I'm saying, and you driving, that just seems like you Jody from Baby Boy. So I really don't find that to be necessarily chivalrous. Um, Pumping gas, I think that's something you should do as just being a classy kind of guy. But I would also say I don't judge dudes who don't who aren't maybe he's sitting in the car and the woman's pumping the gas, but you don't know the story, you don't know what's going on. Um, because I've seen a situation where a woman got out to pump the gas, the guy was sitting in the passenger seat, and another guy came over trying to be Captain Superhero, save him, and was like, "Let me pump your gas since your man ain't." Blah, 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 blah. And turns out the guy in the car had an injury. You know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't, like he needed to pull his crutches out and all that. And it was like this dude created a problem because he couldn't mind his business. So I think that there can be situations where you judge things before actually knowing all the facts and based on whatever your ideals are. But should you teach, like, will I teach my son, look, you stand closest to the curb when you're walking with a woman? Yes, I want him to do that with his mom and with his sisters and all of that. Um, you open doors. Yes, because it's just a gentlemanly thing to do. It's not based on what they originally based it on, which was like, women are too weak or whatever to do these things. It's just being polite. And so I will definitely teach my son that, as I'll teach him all the manners. If there's a dude behind him, you don't have to hold the door, but he can hold it open for him so he can grab it. You know what I mean? Like just being polite. And I think people will appreciate that. But, I think a lot of times, people take it a little too far, um, and start judging before they know all the facts.
Yeah. Also, I think these are like common actions that you should definitely pass on to kids and your son. And is that something that's missing today, Wade, that it's not being passed on from generation to generation? It's not passed on to these young boys to walk on the side of the street and let the woman walk on the inside and open doors. It's just not being taught.
Yeah, I think it's just not being taught nowadays. I mean, it's a lot of young boys growing up without dads in their household these days. So I just feel like, and not having no older brothers or not having uncles as well. So I feel like a lot of these teachings aren't being passed down, and just the negativity that's on Instagram. Like I always go back to Instagram and say, you know, it's all on what you make it, but they're not advocating, men to, walk on the inside. I mean, walk on the outside. When you're walking with your girl on the street or a woman on the street, to pump their gas, to put air in their tire if they have a flat tire. That's not being promoted. Just the negativity that's being promoted on social media. So, I think it starts with. I guess it can start with your dad, it can start with your friends, start with your brothers. It can start with your uncles, your coaches, whoever. So, yeah, I just think it's not being taught. Um, yeah, just not being taught.
And then like we said, like it's just things that's not known, right? Wade, like would you like wipe the snow off your girl's car in the morning? Do all men know that that's a thing that's generous and that's a part of being chivalrous?
All men don't know, but I think if you really love your girl, or whoever you're dealing with, your mom, your grandma, whoever, your sister, you would do that gesture, that gentleman gesture for them because like, you want to help out. Like I said, I don't think women should do certain jobs. Like I don't feel like a woman should be outside with her little wheel thing laying on her back, sliding under the car like a grease monkey, changing the oil and changing the brakes. I don't think a woman should do mechanic. I know it's some women mechanics out there, but I feel like that's a man's job. Like I don't think it's an issue with a male or female taking the trash out. I don't feel like it's an issue with a male or female washing dishes. Like some acts, I feel like both genders can do, but some I think men should do. Men should do. Like you shouldn't be sitting in your car texting, lean back while the girl's outside trying to figure out how to put air in the tire. Like going inside, getting changed for $1 to put the
Yeah,
quarters in the machine. You
you
shouldn't be
shouldn't
laid
be
back.
scrolling on your
Nah,
phone.
nah.
Pause this show for a second and help her put the air in the tire. I
Exactly. And
mean,
I do agree with you. With
Well,
is the
let me just say,
situation?
like,
Go
if
ahead.
a woman wants to be a mechanic, she should be a mechanic. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she wants to do that for her profession, then I support it. And if she has a skill, like being a mechanic is a skill.
No,
If
no,
your
no, no, no,
girl
no, no,
can,
no. I'm sorry, Jess. I wasn't saying she can't be a mechanic. I'm saying like you guys just in a house and she just outside changing the brakes and she don't really know how to change the brakes. She just experiment while you inside watching football. That's
oh
what I mean.
yeah,
Not like yeah, not saying it like she can't be a mechanic.
yo, if she don't know how to fix brakes, but she's taking the brakes off the car, it better not be my car. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
because
Don't be
lives
don't
are
be
at
messing
stake
with the
at this
brakes.
point.
I'd rather you just keep my car and bust the windows out. Don't mess with my brakes now. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. I can't just be sitting down, watching the game and she walk out with a wrench talking I'm about to change the spark plugs and she ain't had no experience. That's that ain't gonna happen. You can't let that go down.
Yeah.
yo, I mean, shoot. I'll be honest. I wouldn't know where to find the spark plug. So, like, she know more than me. I'll be like, all right, well, look, you know more than me.
Yeah, I don't think women should be cutting grass either. How y'all feel about that? I feel like that's a man's job. Like it's nothing wrong with a woman doing it, but when women tell me they got to go cut the grass, I'm like, I don't think you should be cutting the
I don't
grass.
think she should have to do it if there's a man around.
Yeah,
No, I mean just like taking out the trash. Like if I'm around, tell me so I can take out the trash. But if you home alone and it's stinking up the kitchen, I'll be like, all right, I understand why you took the trash out. Thank you. You know what I mean? But if it's me and I'm there, yeah, ask me to take the trash out. I mean, just as a gentleman thing to do, so you don't have to carry it and you can stay in the house. You don't have to put a coat on and do all those things. It's just a nice gesture for me.
so how about when you find out that to take the trash out, you gotta walk a mile, you gotta go down the elevator, and you gotta walk another mile outside to the dumpster. And you see that's why she asked you to take the trash out.
I mean, if it's my woman, that's fine. But I'm not gonna be
Yeah,
doing it for
yeah,
no
yeah,
no random person. I
yeah.
mean,
Don't
yeah, because
don't
at
don't be
that point,
somebody
women are
I'm
waiting for
just
you to come over so you can take the trash out.
yeah, like don't be somebody I'm just sliding with and you like, oh, I'm so glad you came. Nah, yo, you should have taken the trash out before I got there.
Right.
Um, but not, I will say this: once you're married, as the old married dude here, like who does stuff is when you encounter it. You know what I'm saying? Like I a lot of times lift the trash bag out the trash can because it can be heavy. You know what I'm saying? Um, but rolling the trash can to the curb, sometimes my wife does that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, mostly it's the kid's job, but like, I don't. I think sometimes you just do it because it's your house and you encounter it first. Like, I do the dishes because I'm oftentimes when my schedule is a little bit different. So I'm around at a time when you got to do the dishes. You know what I'm saying? When the dishes piled up. So I end up doing the dishes or, you know, I'll have to clean the kitchen sometimes because just timing works for me to do it rather than her or I get up last so I make the bed. But it's not because that's my role as a man to make the bed. It's just
So,
it works out that way.
would you say your marriage is 50-50? Because I don't think 50-50 is always financial. Like, do you think that, would you consider your relationship 50-50?
No, I wouldn't say it's 50-50, only because I think it's what what each person is more comfortable doing. So I don't think of it in terms of, you know, I have to carry 50% of the load or she has to carry 50% of the load. It's like, yo, what am I comfortable doing and what is she more comfortable doing and what is she skilled at and what am I skilled at? You know what I'm saying? So if it's like I'm a big picture guy, she's a detail person. So, paying this little bill here and this and that, she'll do that. I'm the primary breadwinner. I'll mow the lawn because we got a big yard, you know what I'm saying? And she's just not going to do that, so I do it. Like it's not that we're thinking like, yo, I did this week, it's your turn. Like we don't look at it that way. We all live here, we all contribute, and so we contribute what we feel comfortable contributing.
That's fair. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.